Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans, and I have some news which might be very interesting to a lot of my subscribers who live in South Africa. There is a new visa coming out to Australia in November this year. To qualify for this visa, you must have obtained sponsorship from an eligible relative or state or territory government, be under the age of 45 and competent in English. Let me just tell you a bit more about it and the basis of this visa which is coming out. The Australian government will be launching 2 new skilled regional visa routes this year, opening the door to more South Africans who want to make the move. According to Sable International, Sam Hopwood, there are currently over 600 eligible occupations available to migrants willing to work in regional Australia. And I will provide a link to those occupations. These occupations are consistent with skills needed in regional areas, including agriculture, trade, and professional occupations, he said. So agriculture is in there, trade is in there, and professional occupations such as doctors and so on. Once the new regional visas are introduced later this year, skilled migration visas sponsored by regional employers or state and territory governments will receive priority processing. These visas allow you to bring your family with you, where they'll enjoy the same rights as you. Hopwood explained that the Australian government currently defines regional Australia by a postcode listing. From November this year, regional Australia will be defined as all of Australia except for the metropolitan areas of Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Gold Coast and Perth, he said. The new definition will form single continuous borders as defined by postcodes around these metropolitan areas. Regional Australia is home to 8.8 million Australians and contributes to 1/3 of the country's national output. How to move to Australia on a skilled migration visa. From November 2019, the Australian government will be introducing the following visas to help address skill shortages in regional areas. They are also aimed to encourage a more balanced settlement of Australia's skilled migrant intake, Hopwood said. It's called the Skilled Work Regional, and then in brackets, Provisional Visa, subclass 491. This is a points-based visa for people who want to live and work in designated regional areas in Australia. To qualify for this visa, you must have obtained sponsorship from an eligible relative or state or territory government, be under the age of 45 and competent in English. This skilled work regional visa will allow you to live and work in Australia for up to 5 years. You can bring your family with you and leave and enter Australia as often as you like while your visa is valid. The visa will replace the skilled regional provisional visa subclass 489, which is quite popular with skilled workers who wish to move to regional Australia. This change also introduces the new point system for this visa. Points will be awarded as follows: 10 points for having a skilled spouse or de facto partner, 15 points if you're nominated by a state or territory or sponsored by a family member that resides in regional Australia. Now, for the farming community, this is a huge opportunity because I know a lot of people in South Africa do have family living in Australia. So there's a huge link here if they are farmers or in the farming community. 10 points if you have certain science, technology, engineering and mathematics or STEM qualifications. 10 points if you do not have a spouse or de facto partner. And 5 points if you have a spouse or de facto partner who meets the English language requirement. After 3 years of holding the skilled work regional provisional visa and meeting these requirements, you can apply for a permanent residence visa. This is a beauty. Thanks, Steve, for pointing this out to me. It's hot off the press. Hot off the press. Skilled employed sponsored regional provisional visa subclass 494 is another visa that's coming out. This visa will replace the current subclass 187 visa. It allows skilled workers who are nominated by an employer to live and work in Australia permanently. To be eligible for this visa, you must be nominated by an Australian employer, work for your nominating employer in regional Australia, have an occupation on the relevant list of eligible skilled occupations, meet the English language requirement. And then there's another one. This is like Christmas, isn't it? Permanent resident skilled regional visa, subclass 191. The new permanent residence visa is available to skilled migrants that have lived and worked in Australia for 3 years on one or two of the two new provisional regional visas. To qualify for this visa and permanent residence in Australia, you must have held a valid regional provisional visa for at least 3 years prior to making your application, earned a minimum income for 3 years on a valid regional provisional visa, meet the requirements of the regional provisional visa. This visa will only be open for applications from 16 November 2022, said Hopwood. This is because applicants will need to have held one of the new regional provisional visas for 3 years before they can be eligible to apply. So I'm just putting this out here, guys. If you're under 45 and you got family who live in a regional area, maybe on a farm, you got a ticket, as long as you meet those points. And I don't think that'll be a problem, because I think most people speak good English. So, look, I'm just putting this out here. I know there are a lot of people who watch my channel who are over 45, and there is something, or an opportunity that's coming up that I'm looking at with people in Georgia at the moment, which I'll talk about when we're ready to. And that is like a retirement place for elderly people. All right, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell to get all the updates, and have a great evening. Bye for now.